I'm not gay. But I fell in love with a man without realizing it, but I did.
Put some clothes on, you creep! Have some decency!
This story happened when I was around 12 or 13 years old. I was going through my weeb phase and had just discovered those infamous romance anime, which was honestly the thing that saved me from becoming an alcoholic or a smoker. And I watched a lot of them. I mean, all of these. And then some more. That time my life was basically just going to school, come back home and marathon anime. And of course, just like any weeb, I also used to draw. No, wait, my bad, not this one. I wasn't very interested in interacting with my classmates. I bet they thought of me as a weirdo. Pale boy, dark eyes bags. And I used to take shit like this. Yeah, like L from Death Note. I know, the information doesn't have anything to do with the video. Sorry. But I could cut my asshole and die! Anyway, despite being alone by choice, spending so much time isolated made me feel lonely. And let's be honest, watching romance anime of all things didn't help me either. And that's when I decided to look for online groups to chat with. I typed, groups for people who are gonna die virgins. And I found a bunch of weeb groups. And no, it wasn't on Discord, to many people's surprise. Everything I'm about to tell happened on Telegram. Yeah. That infamous app known for cybercrime and every kind of atrocity you can imagine. Or can't even imagine. Yeah, I've actually got some pretty good stories from there involving all that shady stuff. But I'll save those for another video. The first thing I noticed when I joined a few of them was that everyone there had this weird habit of using the name and profile picture of some anime character. At first I thought it was some kind of roleplay, but soon I realized it was just a fun way to stay anonymous. I wanted to fit in, but there was no way in hell I'd humiliated myself like that, which is why I wasn't Luffy. I was a straw hat. I am better than all of you! You probably noticed from the accent, but I'm Brazilian, so my native language is Portuguese. My username there was Chapéu de Palha, which basically means straw hat. But everyone just called me Chapéu Hat, which I don't even have to say was weird. That's when I met this girl who used the name and profile of a character called Mashiro Shina from the anime Sakura Soul. It was love at first sight, but she typed everything wrong. Like, everything. Even my name! To me, she was way too perfect to be illiterate, so it had to be on purpose, right? She's so cute. Anyway, ever since I met her, I tried getting closer. And I wasn't even trying to be subtle. Will you date me? Nope. Everyone in the group told me she was a guy. She told me she was a guy. Even my prayers, I was warned about it.
It's a man.
But I wouldn't believe it. It could have been Terry Crews behind the screen and I'd still be in love. Which honestly wouldn't be that bad. I like Terry Crews. As far as I was concerned, they were all just jealous. Jealous of my woman! Come at me, cowards! Not to mention, she never sent voice messages. Which only made it more obvious that it was just an excuse to avoid me. She'd always come up with something like, Senpai, you're a nice guy, but I'm a man! Don't be afraid. I was so in love that I even changed my username because of her. And you can see, I still use that cursed thing today. So we kept this dynamic for a while. About a month and a half, more or less. Me, dying of love every single day, and her making up all kinds of excuses to get rid of me. She even said she was dating a girl. She added a girl to the group to prove it. But I, genius that I am, immediately figured out what was going on. She's your friend, right? Or are you a lesbian? What? Oh, yeah.
I'm a lesbian.
Liar. I was so unbearably annoying that one day she just got tired and sent me a voice message saying,
I have a bro. Want me to show you my big
Man, that destroyed me in ways I didn't even know were possible. I was so depressed. I couldn't sleep that night. I cried in the shower, went to school without sleeping. In class, I kept asking myself, will I ever be loved someday? Even after all that, I didn't leave the group. I just disappeared for a while. Went back to binging romance anime. Showed up every now and then. And he kept using a girl profile. Bastard. But anyway, a little while later there, I was again flirting with women online. Yup, that was my hobby. And that wasn't even the only time I fell for a guy. There was another one, and the end is pretty unexpected actually. But that's a story for another video. What matters is that years later I grew up, matured as a person, and realized something important. Every victim's dream is to become the aggressor.
Aww, that's so sweet. I think I kinda have a crush on you, seriously.
How is a man like you still single? What an idiot. He actually thinks he's talking to a woman. Hilarious. Hi, Shabs here. If you enjoyed the video and want to help me keep making more, consider supporting me on Ko-Fi. Even $1 helps. Seriously. I also do profile art commissions over there. Sketches are 15 and colored ones are 30. That way you get a custom profile picture, support the channel, and your name gets featured at the end of the video. Right now it's the only way I can earn anything from the work I do here. Yeah, but if you can't support me that way right now, subscribing, leave a like, and dropping a random comment like, I came here for the animation, but now I'm questioning my sexuality. Phenomenal work. Marry me, please. Also helps a lot. Trust me. That's it, but kisses and adios.